Okay, guys, so we are about to get started. I'm just checking if uh, this thing is working or not. I hope it's working. So I will just present.
Okay, guys, so we are about to get started. I'm just checking if.
Okay, that was me. So yeah, so I think it's working. So I will just start projecting and then we will get started. By the way, there is a chat. There's a live chat on the right hand side. So you can actually uh, ask questions from here. Okay, so there is a chat which is there on the right hand side of the YouTube window. So you can actually ask me questions and I'll go through it. And I'll answer if possible or as much as possible. Sometimes you may not be able to see the chat. Then in those cases, I think the chat thing will come at the bottom. So you can actually see it at the bottom also. So either ways, hold on with your questions or just put it here and I'll be very happy to answer. Okay, so I see Anshul Sethia has put in, okay, sounds good. So I'm sure the chat window will be available. So let's get started. So let me just project.
Uh, we are.
Great. So I'm more or less confirmed that it's working. So let's get started. So as the screen is coming up, yes. So I'll tell you why I'm doing this. What is the basic purpose behind this webinar? Yes. So this webinar is on personal branding. And the idea here is that, if you look around, you see a lot of people who have achieved a lot, and that includes some of us, and I hope all of us. But at the same time, we would also want to achieve that much more. I mean, we have just one life. Uh, and we want to do so many things, you know. On the other hand, I also see that people with really high potential, people with a lot of relevant skills, are have had a very limited impact, like in terms of the things that they have done, or in terms of the impact that they can make on the society or themselves. At the same time, there are people who with limited skills have overachieved because of the kind of brands that they have built for themselves, the communication that they're doing. So I see both the sides, and that's what pains me, that some of us who have got great ideas, who've got awesome skills, who empathize with a lot of things can going on, they can do so much more if they were aware about some basics of personal branding. And now this branding has become much easier to do online because the web is very democratic. Anyone with a little bit of effort, with a little bit of investment, can really scale up things which otherwise would not have been possible in a very offline world. Offline world, you needed to invest a lot of money, etc. Apart from the time and energy for you to reach out and connect with multiple people. In the online world, the same impact can be had with a very little of investment, provided the content, provided the brand, or provided what you are trying to do is good enough. Okay, so this is the genesis of this. I feel that a lot of us can overachieve, can do a lot more, whether it's doing it internally in our own companies, in our own career paths, or going out and creating another company, or making a name for ourselves as a professional at an industry level, at a country level, or maybe globally. So that is what there are a few tips that I've learned through my journey, and that's what I'm planning to share right now. Yeah, so make a name for yourself is the name of this webinar, and I think it's going to last for about 30 odd minutes. And I'm very happy to take your questions after this. But in the meanwhile, please keep posting, okay? So that I'm aware of what questions you guys have. So before I move forward, a little bit about myself. My name is Amitav Verma, and I run this company along with a few of my colleagues. It is called AMP Digital, AMP Digital. And we are in the space of digital marketing. So we help companies market their products or services, sell more, generate more leads, do brand building. At the same time, we train professionals, we train students, and corporates. Okay, so that's what we do, providing digital marketing services and training. So the first thing that I want to tell yourself or tell everyone is that all of us are a brand. Like a company is a brand, all of us are a brand. So invest in yourself. We should start up with that point of view. Okay, nothing will happen on its own. I've never seen any product market itself. I've never seen anybody become big, or achieve something great on its own. Everyone has to work hard, has to put effort behind what they're trying to do, and only then they will achieve whatever they want to. And the first thing, it starts is by understanding yourself. you know like understand your persona, like what are the things that you like doing, what are the things that gives you happiness, real happiness. Why this is very important is, and why is this a starting point is, that wherever you go and whatever you do, you will not excel till the time you enjoy the process. And you will see these cricketers saying that process is important, and it is, because till the time you're not enjoying the process, because you will be spending lots and lots of time doing the things. So till the time you don't enjoy it, you will not achieve great success. Okay, so that is the first thing. So understand yourself, think about what you like doing, what gives you happiness, what gives you fulfillment. At the same time, what is it that you don't like, etc. So get second is your competency. There is a certain skill set that you own, so list that down. Also list down your weaknesses that you have, but focus on the skills. And together, one is what you like doing, second is what skills you have. Figure out what is the unique value proposition. And here I would want to focus on the word unique. Okay, because if you are doing certain things that everyone else is doing, then it's very difficult to stand out in the crowd, right? But if there is something unique, and that uniqueness may not be a great uniqueness, or in terms of differentiator, but it needs to have something, like maybe the industry that you've worked in is unique, and there are very few people who have worked and excelled in it. Maybe the background, the areas that you come up, you understand the markets that you operate in a B2B, in a tech market that you operate in, that is unique to you. Or you have some skill, like you can draw very well, or you are, you love painting, or you love, public speaking, communication, you love singing, you love marketing, whatever it is. So you have to think about what is it that makes you unique in your area, because that is what will help you stand apart. Otherwise, if you are trying to market yourself by being as good or as bad as everyone else, it will be a tough job. But so think about this, and I would suggest that you spend some time, you write it down, you show that to your seniors, you show that to the people that you. Okay, so without thinking about anything else, just understand what is your unique value proposition. And second thing is that value proposition should be of some help to people, right? So you have to keep that in mind. What is your value proposition, and how will that help others? Okay. Then the next thing that you should do is prepare an elevated pitch. You know, and this is apart from your job. Like in your job, you are doing certain things. You have a role, you have a designation, you have a title, you have some responsibilities, you have a KRA, whatever. Forget that. Apart from that, you say that, what, this is what my name is. These are some skills that I have. This is where I lived, and these are some unique things that I can offer. And what those are, how I can offer, you have to prepare maybe a 30-second pitch that you can tell people in the lift, that you can tell people while having dinners, lunches. You can write on your LinkedIn profiles. You can write on your Twitter handles, whatever. But it's very, very important to come up with a very succinct 30-seconder, okay, maybe 4 lines about what you are, what do you do, how can you help others. Then the other thing that you have to do, and that's where I think a lot of us miss the point, is understand your target audience. No matter what the brand is, nothing can serve everybody, right? So you are there to do a job, and you are there to help solve somebody's problems, right? That is what will actually, like propel you to your new heights. So you have to think about what those problems are. Are you giving people happiness by playing cricket very well, and you can do it better than other people? Is that what you are saying? Or is it that you can help somebody create a beautiful website, or create a fantastic strategy on how to market their a web portal? What is it? What is the value proposition that you bring to the table? Okay. And also, you may not have just one set of target audience. May have 3 or 4 set of target audiences. So understand each one of them, understand what issues they are facing, and how can you help resolve it. The reason why it's important is that given your different target audience, there are different ways to reach out to them, because they are on different platforms digitally. They consume content in a very different way. Like you need to talk to them in a different way. Some people like going through video. Some people are on Snapchat. Some people are on YouTube. Other people are on somewhere else. So you have to first build personas of your target audience, and there can be 3 or 4 different personas, and write it down. Okay. So that will take us to our next point, is build your presence. Now, depending upon your target audience, whatever 2 or 3 or 4 that you have picked, pick your platforms where you want to be present. Okay. And here you need to pick at least 3 to 4. Okay. And since most of us are professionals, some of us may want to start a business. So you have to think about where your target audience is. Some of us may want to grow in our careers professionally. Then we are looking for jobs. We are looking for, CEOs, CXOs, higher ups, where they spend their time. Okay. But we can actually look at these set of platforms that I have listed down here, which are more popular, and you need to pick at least 3 to 4 where you are going to be present and you are going to talk. So obviously, for all professionals, LinkedIn is very mandatory, because that's where all professionals are. But apart from that, Pinterest for people who want to talk to people in a very young woman category, especially in foods, kind of a business, fashion, etc. So Pinterest is really picking up for a woman between, say, 18 to 35. Uh, Also, Google Plus is also very important, because Google Plus, being a Google product, is very well integrated with Google search. So whatever you write, whatever you put, is highly likely that your articles, content will get picked up by Google. So do not ignore Google Plus. That can be another platform. Facebook, obviously, because vast majority of us are on Facebook, spending time on Facebook, etc. Instagram, like typical urban crowd is there on Instagram. So if you have products, if you have a skill, you have a service, your target audience is on Insta. I mean, very visual medium, and also a medium wherein people engage a lot, much more than Facebook or a Google Plus. Okay, so if you are that kind of an audience, think about Instagram. Snapchat is kind of teenagers. Like if you want to talk to teenagers, early, like people who are in 20s, early 20s, men or women, then Snapchat is a great platform to be in. Other place to catch professionals, people who are like skilled professionals, educated, then Twitter is a very good place, though it's not growing, but it has some very, very dedicated users. Then if you are in an area wherein you like to share a lot, like through very structured content like presentations, then SlideShare. Now it's integrated with LinkedIn, so you can actually use that platform. Quora is another place wherein you can demonstrate your leadership into one area by answering questions. So be on Quora, because there are a lot of professionals, there are a lot of CEOs who are on Quora, who are answering questions, who are looking at answers, who are looking at how people are responding to other people's queries. So Quora is another part of platform which you should be in. And finally, you should not ignore having your own website. I think the difference between being on LinkedIn, Facebook, Google Plus, whatever, and your own website is that your website is your property, right? While Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is, it's like you are in somebody else's house. You've rented a place, and and the rules of the game is decided by the platform owners. While when you build your own website, even though initially you may have less visitors, less viewers, it's your own place, and because it's your own place, you can do a lot of wonderful things. Okay, so I do feel that, think about building your own website. It can also be just a blog. You can just start a blog, and you can take it up from there. But I would say that a blog or a website and 2 or 3 of these social platforms is something that you should definitely be present on. Okay, and then all these things, like do it professionally. Okay, so the pictures that you're putting in, the descriptions that you're putting in, has to be thoughtfully written, and not only write and forget, but you need to test. I've seen for myself, the way you write your description in LinkedIn, in Twitter, determines what people make of you. Also on Facebook, like what are you saying, what are you doing, where are you working, what is your history, what you like, what you don't like. I mean, all those things have to be carefully crafted and put it up on these social platforms. Okay, and then you need to test it. So you should change it for some time and see, by changing it, is it impacting the request that you're getting, the engagement that's happening, etc. Right? There are a lot of wonderful stories of how one picture of yours on a platform has changed a lot of things. I think there was this story about Uber, and how initially they were not taking any, uh, any investment, but they saw somebody on Facebook who had a picture with Obama, and they said, "Oh, this guy was with Obama. He must be somebody well known in the industry." So they listened to that person who sent them a friend request on Facebook, right? So similarly, so think about how you want to present yourself on Facebook or in any of these platforms for that matter. Then the second thing is, once you have actually set up your profile, is creating content. you know Also the content, when you put a content, you have to think about the platform that you're putting it up, right? Because every platform has a different content type, or whether it's in the characters that you can write, the type of images that it can take, whether it's like slides or decks on SlideShare, or whether it's images and videos and on YouTube, or on even on Facebook, etc. So so it will be good that you create one content, like you talk about how to create a beautiful website, or how to market your products in Northeast, how to become like athletic, and how to become a runner in 3 months or 6 months. So whatever you are writing, you know you have to actually convert that piece into units that can go well into any one of the platforms. Number one. Number two is that whenever you put a content, share that content natively. Now what that does mean is that rather than, let's say that you have created a video now, so rather than putting the video, posting it on YouTube and sharing the YouTube link on Facebook, what you should do is that put the video on YouTube as well as upload it on Facebook. Because generally you will see that if you upload the piece of content, video, whatever it is, on that platform, it will be seen by a lot more people than if you're sharing a YouTube link. Okay, so if you're actually sharing a video on Twitter, whatever, first upload. So make your content very amenable to be shared on that platform. The other thing when you're creating content is that new content, you can actually go from, say, once or twice or thrice a day to once a week. I mean, these are all fine. But you have to stick to that frequency, and you can actually communicate to people that, look, this is what I'm trying to do. So between 10 to 50% of your content that you're posting can be new content. Okay. The other thing is curated content, which means that you are actually on the web, you are reading other people's content, whatever you like, you actually share it with your communities. You can do that once, twice, a few times in a day. Okay, but this curated content at least should be a few times in a day, so people understand that you are active. You may have a full-time job, but you still are active on your LinkedIn page, on your Twitter accounts, whatever it is. Okay, so it's not always necessary that you come up with a bright new idea about a content, you write about something, you do a live webinar, whatever it is, every day. Even if you're doing once a week or twice a week or thrice a week, that is fine. But fill the gaps using a lot of curated content. Okay, good things that you saw while browsing and that you feel can benefit your users. And there are a lot of tools here that you can use to make your life simpler. One of the tools I use is called Buffer. Buffer. Buffer is a great tool, and Buffer actually, it makes it very easy for you to actually tag a particular content and share it on multiple platforms. So you can try out Buffer. Obviously there is a Hootsuite, etc., that can also help you do that, but I really like Buffer. And also create a schedule, like you have a schedule, so it should not be that it's upon your whims and fancies when you post something. You should have a schedule that you need to stick to. Okay, so this is something on the creating your own content goes. Now let me just check YouTube and see if there are any questions. So just give me a second. I just want to see. Yeah, so I don't see a question here, but if you have questions, do please write something, okay, so that I can answer them. Very good. So I'm here, and creating content is very important. Like I said, that is the basis of all your interaction. That is the basis of by which people will understand your leadership skills, qualities, your thoughts. So creating the content is the core. And I would say that no matter what you are doing, even if you have a full-time job, set aside some time, like 30 minutes to 1 hour every day, wherein you are thinking about what's going on and what is that unique thing that you can actually offer to the community or to the people at large. Okay, it can be your insight, on a news item. It can be a trend that you are spotting. It can be a new thing that you learned and you want to share. It can be an interesting conversation you have had that day or yesterday, that you want to write about. So keep thinking and set aside some time to think about that content creation. Okay, because the idea uh, is critical, and also as well as how you actually bring it out. But first get the idea, set time aside, and then write it down. Yes. Then the other thing is that, whenever you have written something and you have posted it, engage with your community, because a lot of people will have a lot of questions, right? And you should encourage people to write to you, to ask you those questions, and you should be prompt and responsible, right? So respond to comments, and that's how people think that you are real and that you have real, genuine interest to help people, and try to personalize your answers. Not one copy paste will not help. So personalize, understand who is asking, why are they asking, then answer. Okay. And this, what I feel is very important, is understand, invest in the well-being of your community. So don't just think as if you are actually writing or talking or posting in a vacuum. All the posting that you're making on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn is your communication to your community. Okay. So think about how can you make your community better. Is there a job offer that you saw that people may be interested in, your new tool that you saw that people may like to use, a news item, whatever it is, whatever you feel your community will like to have. If you get a freebie or something, think about it. Okay. Or you want to give out some free consultancy, consulting, helping people, but do it. And I would also say that do it with a real genuine interest. Don't do it because you have to do it, or while you're doing it, don't make the other person feel small, right? They should feel that you are doing it because that's what you are passionate about. You really love helping people. I think people who do this part very well are the people who build a large community and ultimately get benefited the most. Okay, go out of the way to resolve issues. Okay, and think about what are those giveaways. It can be a PDF, it can be whatever, it can be a presentation, it can be an idea, it can be a thought, it can be connecting this person to the other person, it can be any one of it. Okay, it can be just somebody says, oh, like, my mother is sick, and can you post this, I need some people to come to this hospital and give blood, or whatever it is, some social. So think about all those opportunities and never let it go. I feel that that is a very, very good, genuine way to get some karma points and get your things forward. Okay. The other thing that I feel very, very important, apart from creating the content, thinking about everything, is the hustle, right? So whatever you write, you have to make sure that people are reading it, and more so initially. So what you should do is that after you've written something, you've put out something, send it to influencers in your area. So you feel that, it may just be your boss in your company, your HR, your marketing team, or your marketing leader, or your CEO, whosoever you feel you respect, 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, send it out. Say, hey, look, this is what I've written. What do you think about this? Okay. So that is one segment that you have to influence, because if they like it, they will talk about it. The more they talk about it to their peers, the better it is for you, right? The other thing is that figure out bloggers and content creators. Yeah, so figure out people who are active online, and there are these set of bloggers, set of businesses which already have followers. So send it to them, like, you never know who may like it, who may want to invite you for to actually take it further, who may want to, whatever, to ask you to write a guest blog on their portal, etc. Right? So send it out to these bloggers, content creators. Then there's the newspapers and PR and other publications. So, right, a lot of these blogs, a lot of these magazines, they are looking for interesting articles. or they are actually always on the need to get people from the industry to come to talk to them, to provide their insights, to do whatever, because they have a dearth of good writers. So send your publication. You say, hey, look, I published this. So every time, whenever you see a news item, say in Economic Times, you will see the author's email ID. Okay, so you pick it up from there and write to them directly and say that, what, this is who I am, this is where I work, this is my interest is, here's the new thing that I've written, what do you think about this? Okay, and tomorrow maybe when he's writing something in your area, he may call you that, what do you think about this? Right? So this again is very important, right? To get in touch with publications, send them what you've done, and build a rapport. This investment will pay you 100 times over in your career. Another thing is groups. You will find that in your interest category, in your niche that you are part of, there are a lot of groups which are out there, like a Facebook group, a LinkedIn group, groups on Twitter, etc. So go and post it there and say that, look, this is something that I found useful. Why don't you look at it? And you will see a lot of engagement, a lot of people coming and talking to you from there. The other thing that I highly recommend is set up an analytics account. So Google Analytics is a free analytics tool. I'm sure a lot of us are already aware. So set it up and make sure that whatever you are doing, you're making a post on Facebook or on LinkedIn, sending a mailer out, you posted something on your website, is tagged properly. Okay, so go to that. Google Analytics can measure how many people saw your post, how many people read your articles, how many downloads happened, and you can also measure what is the engagement, which piece is doing well, which is not doing well. You can actually create a dashboard on Google Analytics to get a bird's eye view of all the effort and the impact that they are making. Okay, and tag your content properly. This is something that a lot of people miss out. They keep writing certain things, they keep posting certain things, creating, but they forget to tag. And because it's not tagged properly, Google Analytics will not record it properly, or any analytics tool for that matter that you're using will not record it. So you will not have one place to record the entire activity, and that way you will not be able to monitor your progress, etc., as well as impact. The other thing is that measure effectiveness. And I think that you should measure effectiveness on three broad areas. First is obviously amplification. So you can see that if you've done something on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, how many people are sharing it, retweeting or forwarding. That is amplification, because the more the number of people share forward, the more number of people will see it, and that is great for you. Then second is positive reinforcement. Sometimes it's very easy to create something controversial which gets shared, but that doesn't mean that people who are actually reading it are liking it, okay, or are appreciating it. So to measure appreciation, liking, positive reinforcement is very important. So measure likes, measure plus ones, or whatever, or the love, whatever it is that your platform is doing to ensure this positive reinforcement. And third is attention. It's been seen by a lot of people, shared by a lot of people, plus one by a lot of people. Doesn't mean that they have given their 100% attention. And that you only understand when people start commenting. Okay, so focus on these three things: amplification, positive reinforcement, and attention. And the idea should be that what you should look at is not the numbers standalone, but a trend. So see how it's trending. How many people are sharing your post on a post by post basis? How many likes? How many positive reinforcement are you getting? How many comments are you getting? So to do that and measure, that's one way to measure your effectiveness. And finally, conversion. Like by doing all these things, keep a few goals in your mind. Maybe for 3 months, for 6 months, and the goals can be that: are you getting quoted in Times of India, or Economic Times? Are you able to write some articles there? Okay, request from news channels. So these are some examples you can think of what makes sense for you. Request for a project, job offers, mentorship, people coming to you for mentorship, etc. Okay. Um, so these all can be your conversions from a very personal brand building perspective. So write it down and monitor it and see what is creating that impact. What is making this editor in Business Standard come to you and ask you for your comments, right? So try to connect the dots, but you will be able to do that once you have defined what you want to get out of all your personal brand building. And final thing that I want to tell you is that share success stories. You know, um, so one is that you are doing certain things and getting quoted in Times of India, getting great job offer, getting to present in a conference. Those are all success stories. Now, what people like to read a lot is how did that happen? Okay, so you not only do things to succeed, but also share those success stories. And that I'm going to tell you is that if you are getting one conversion from your effort, if you write a success story, you may get 10 conversions, right? So so do not forget to write success stories. So I'm again going to yes, I'm on. I'm just checking some of the content, some of the questions. So Preeti has a question. Content can be anything that attracts me or specific. No, see, Preeti, content has to be very, very specific to what your users want. Okay, that is to me a content which is useful, not any content. Because today there's so many things happening, so don't try to be everywhere. Try to be very specific and try to give value to your community. Okay, because there is a lot of things going on and a lot of people are hearing the same thing from multiple sources, so don't be just one of them. Okay, so that is one thing. Anshul, what if I'm not good at content? Yeah, so Anshul, I think that is the next step. So you have to understand what is it that you're good at. Are you good at thinking about new things? You may not be good at writing that content. So get some help. You know, so not everything can be done solo. I always feel, Anshul, that there has to be a team working with you. It's always a team effort that can propel you to success if you really want success. Nobody out there is alone, so it's perfectly fine if you're not good at one part. uh, so you can actually outsource that part. Get somebody or get a friend or get your partner to actually help out with you. Get your friend to help out with you. If that is not happening, outsource. So there are a lot of people who are content writers available. They can help you. Okay, but be very clear in what you want, and I'm sure you're going to get it. But be always clear that you need a set of people to work with you to achieve your goal. Okay, don't try to do everything on your own, because you may not be good at everything, right? Yes. So so that is what it is. So what next? Like already Anshul has asked this question, but I would say that the first thing is that do it yourself. uh, it will take, I think, at least keep out 4 to 5 hours a week, maybe at least half an hour to 1 hour a day. Okay, and what I would suggest is that make this a recurring and frequently recurring activity, not something that you do only on a weekend, because that will again get brushed under your carpet because there are so many other things happening on a weekend. So, but if you say that um, 4 mornings or 3 mornings, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for 1 hour each, or 5 mornings, 1 hour each, you are going to work on this, then it will become your habit. Or every evening, let's say you have a commute, one day, 1 hour to the office, 1 hour coming back. Maybe this is something you do during your commute, right? And maybe then, couple of hours in the weekend. And if you can't do everything, get help. That is the second part. Outsource. Okay. So get someone to set it up for you. Okay. So you may not know how to set up a blog. You may not know how to set up a website. Get some help. Get it. You know, you may not have a nice picture of yourself. Get it done. Right. Those things, small things, matter a lot. There are people, there are content writers, visualizers, people who are expert in some of these areas. Nothing wrong in taking their help. And this is what I will say is that you have to think this as an investment in yourself. Okay, don't think that it's going to happen on its own. Like, you have to invest in it. Okay, and if that means spending 5,000 rupees a month or 10,000, whatever amount you can afford, do that. It's okay to spend 5% of your salary, whatever it is, in developing your own self, investing in your own self, investing in building a brand for yourself. Nothing wrong in it. Okay. So other thing is that, train yourself. There are a lot of things that you can easily learn. So get into a training program. Okay, and train yourself. From there also you will get a lot of ideas. Okay, so train yourself, do it yourself, or outsource, or whatever works for you. Okay, but either ways, it will be an investment, so that we must be prepared for. Okay, without investment, nothing will happen. So that is it. So I just wanted to make it short so that we don't spend too much time. At the same time, we have some takeaways. So if you have any questions, do write to me. I love to hear from you. My email ID is Amitabh, AMITABH, @adsforgrowth.com. And like I said, we run these digital marketing training programs. We start almost every other week. So if you're interested, do let me know. I'm available on Twitter @Amitabh26. Our website is ampdigital.co. So please go through it. And if there is anything, I'll be very, very happy to help you and to take you to a path of success. So any final questions? I'm just looking at the feed. If there are any final questions, I'll be very happy to answer them. Otherwise, feel free to write to me. Here, I'm just posting my email ID again, Amitabh@adsforgrowth.com. Okay, so that's it then. Thank you very much. It was lovely talking to you. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.